Cheers!
Cheers!
Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of the Cheers Comics podcast, where two of your friends tip back a cold one each week and discuss their favorite characters, creators, collecting, news, and anything else underneath our illustrated sun. If you like that, then grab a beverage, kick back, get comfortable, while you join me, one of your hosts, Justin Jones, and the Kingpin Kid himself,
Yo.
Brian Wayne.
What's up?
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Great, man. I'm great.
Speaking of Kingpin, that's what I decided to grab for us this week. We've got
My boy!
Double Red Ale by Bridgeport Brewing Company. They're in Portland, Oregon. What do you think of this beer?
It is strong, and I like it. I do. I like it a lot. I don't see very many reds produced often. I've never had a double red. After pouring it into a glass, it is it's a red beer, man.
It's a darker red.
Yeah, and it's heavy like an IPA, so
It's heavy. It's got like a slight bitter taste to it. I really like it.
yeah, it's good. It's good. Shout out to Bridgeport Brewing. And Kingpin's my guy, so it's just fucking...
Yeah, I was looking for a good winter beer, or fall beer, and this kind of just caught my eye. Thought it might be good, and I know you love Kingpin, so that would be appropriate for the show.
Very appropriate.
Speaking of fall, we just had Halloween. How was your Halloween?
My Halloween, it was an average day, almost. Unfortunately, I don't really live in an area where I get trick-or-treaters, otherwise I really would have just enjoyed scaring the fuck out of kids.
You know, I'm in an area. I've been there for 7 years now, and we used to have a lot of trick-or-treaters, but more and more they just seem to go to the school. I think it's just become more of the norm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, but I watched some horror movies. I went to the comic book store, obviously.
Right, we met there.
Yeah. So we got our books, but I decided to spend Halloween watching movies and doing a little doodling.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I watched Cabin in the Woods for the first time ever, actually. I thought I had seen it before, but I just get mixed up with all of the other Cabin movies out there, like Cabin on the Wrong Turn Left and all of that.
So what'd you think? I love that movie. So what was your impression?
Oh man, I was super excited. Honestly, I wouldn't have watched this movie unless it wasn't for another podcast I listened to. So might as well give it a shout out to Caleb doing the Movie Talk by Movie Fans unofficial Facebook podcast.
Yeah, I remember that one. You were on that one actually promoting our podcast, weren't you?
Yeah, a little bit actually. Like right before it started, I did a episode on there on comic book movies that still need to be made. So if you're curious as to what I have to say about that, check out that podcast, which is available on all the other.
There were some good ideas on there, and I learned way too much about Poison Ivy that episode for sure. Yeah, it was a good episode.
Definitely. But yeah, and their last episode they did like a horror talk, horror showdown or whatever, and someone battled for Cabin in the Woods for a specific topic. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. It's best if you actually listen to the podcast yourself. But I was like, I don't remember Cabin Fever being like that. Because I had Cabin Fever in my head, and Wrong Turn, and like, I don't know. Like I said way back,
Last House on the Left.
Yeah, I hit my head way back a few years ago, so a lot of the shit I thought I knew just like, boop, fell out.
Yeah.
So when they were describing this, I was like, wait a second, I don't remember it being like this. So I watched it, and I was like, Thor's in this motherfucker. I've definitely never seen this.
Yeah, and it's definitely not the movie you expect from the first beginning of it.
It's self-aware, man. It's amazing. It's a parody and a spoof on everything that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's great. And it's a very original story too. That's what I loved about it. It was super original.
Definitely.
So yeah, no, that was sadly, I mean not sadly, the highlight of my Halloween. But I was very stoked with like rediscovering or just discovering for that matter a movie that I now love and will recommend to anybody. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great watch.
Yeah. What about you?
I was gonna read a bunch of comic books, maybe watch a couple scary movies, but I ended up getting hit up by my friend Ben, and we did end up going to that barcade. We went to One Up in Denver. You know, big shout out to Bleak Street. Then we got some pizza and just drank some beer and chilled out. And it was fun. He wore like a Deadpool hoodie, and I just wore my Captain America shirt underneath my hoodie. So if anybody asks what my costume was, I'm just undercover Steve Rogers. Didn't really get into the Christmas the Halloween mood.
Well, I actually rolled around most of the day, just wearing like my part of an old Waldo costume I had. Like I wasn't wearing the glasses or the beanie. I was just wearing the red and white shirt.
Yeah.
No one called me out as well. I take that back. One person called me out as Waldo. I got called out as Kurt Cobain more than anything. Now that I grew out my hair.
Hey, that's awesome.
I was like, all right, well, without the glasses and the beanie, apparently Waldo with long hair looks like Kurt Cobain. I'll take it.
Baggy shirt, long sleeves.
Yeah, ripped jeans,
long hair.
Yeah, like I said, it was a half-ass costume, but I was like, fucking. It's technically Halloween, and I have no reason to be wearing a costume, but just in the spirit. I was like, red and white striped shirt that I wore for a fucking old Waldo, or whatever. Why not?
Maybe next year, just throw on a little fedora and people will call you Freddy.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, but
speaking of holidays, we're unfortunately coming into that. Dude, that sad part of the time.
That's the thing about Halloween. Everyone looks forward to Halloween, but what most people don't realize is like, the day after Halloween, it's officially the holiday season.
God, Christmas music in November.
Dude, I saw fucking Walmart putting up Christmas decorations in the front of the store.
So you're in Walmart. That's your first issue, man.
It might have been a King Soopers, which is like a local grocery store, or Kroger or whatever. Yeah. But nonetheless, it was out there. Like the day out, like November 1st, it was out there.
Not ready. I want a couple months in Colorado for the actual fall, not this weird summer into winter bullshit.
Nah, whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Bah humbug.
Alright, so do you have any news for this week?
A little bit, not much, but it's exciting. So
what you got?
Old man shit. Guardians of the Galaxy is getting a bit of a old man twist, like how they did Old Man Logan's a thing. Old Man Hawkeye is amazing, and we'll talk a little bit about Old Man Hawkeye here in a little bit.
Dope.
But so we're gonna get an Old Man Quill that was announced by the same writer doing Old Man Hawkeye, Ethan Sachs. And Robert Gill will be doing the art. So no Marco Cicchetto, which is a bummer, but Robert Gill is my ass still. Just Cicchetto's kind of my dude. Like he does interiors to a degree that I don't think anybody else in Marvel is doing.
Really?
Yeah, like he's up there with Stegman or whatever.
That's a couple times you've brought him up.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Marco Cicchetto. Super humble guy too. But he
just like somebody else I know.
yeah, I'm so humble. But but we're gonna get Old Man Quill.
Cool.
In February.
So soon.
Yeah, not far away at all.
Cool. Right on.
Did you just say February was soon? Fuck you, dude.
I mean, 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come up with an announcement, I usually am just so used to movies and video games, where, here we're talking about something that's going to be years away. So. Alright, well, maybe I have a little bit more patience than you.
Yeah. Yeah, no. When I say February is close in the gag reflex, that means that other things that are close to February are also close.
Oh,
like fucking Christmas
jingle.
And 2019. I only wrote like 2018. I only dated like 6 things this year. Like I'm still getting used to writing 2018.
You've definitely been out of our field a long time.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Yeah, it's nice.
Man. I'm more like 30 times a day. Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I remember. Let's talk about something pleasant. Let's talk about the books this week.
Fucking comic books, man. Let's talk about last week's reads.
Another one that just confused the fuck out of me. Go ahead and talk about this one.
Oh, fucking Sam Keith is back. Number 2 of Batman and the Maxx crossover, Arkham Dreams. And like I said, Sam Keith is the creative team. He is the cover artist. He is the writer. He is the interior artist. Sam Keith is God.
Oh, that's high praise.
Jeez.
Worthy of worship, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No, Sam
You
Keith.
know, I gotta say this comic showed off more to me his artistic style than the last one for sure. Like
Yeah.
a lot of it I really love, especially with the Joker.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I read the first issue of this, I was like, huh. Like, he's holding back. This isn't Sam. Like, this is great Sam Keith, but he's holding back. Like, this wouldn't be the issue I would introduce somebody to, to Sam Keith.
Except for me.
Well, yeah. I guess I could have given you some, one of my Maxx number ones.
I probably still would have been just as confused, so.
Yeah. Not as confused.
No?
No. No.
So this is a series that definitely dives in with
Like, you gotta know a little
confidence
bit.
that the person's gonna know who the Maxx is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Like, you gotta know about the Outback. You gotta know about Max's relationship to Julie. You gotta know that Mr. Gone is Max's supervillain. And yeah, I mean everybody knows who the fuck Batman is. So I mean that's
Sure.
Yeah. But this is amazing. Like all the way through. It starts out with the Maxx. Him and Batman. There's a lot going on in the beginning, like the way it really starts.
Mhm.
Like the Maxx and Batman are tied in somebody else's Outback, and the first original thought is this the Penguins? And then it comes to fruition. You still don't really. I don't think it really shows whose Outback it is. And then all of a sudden the Joker gets dropped in.
But the Joker seems like he's torn kind of between both consciousness.
Well, the thing
and
is he's
Outback.
unaffected. He's not tripped out because the thing Joker's like, dude, you can't fuck with my mind. Like, drop me in here. This will be fun.
Yeah.
This will be a lot of fun.
It sounds like he's already well versed in the Outback right now.
Well, yeah, it's or he's just not afraid. Is what it comes down to.
Sure. Okay.
And he just finds this as another Batman game, because he doesn't seem interested in what the Maxx is doing at all. Like before the Joker shows up, Maxx is like, "Oh, I gotta go save Julie," and Batman's like, well, the Outback's weird, like jumped around, like there's like
we
this
don't
whole
even know whose Outback we're in.
right, like they're jumping around on what do they call it, like a plop fish or something like that, and like Maxx has to explain how that works and. It's amazing. Like there's no way to really sum up Sam Keith's writing because it goes so well with the art and it helps that it's the same guy, and the art is just so storytelling in itself. You can almost not even need words in a lot of Sam Keith pages.
It's definitely very stylistic. I love the art in this. He's definitely got his own signature for sure. And the story, yeah, I'm interested. I want to read some more, and I'm gonna read. I'm gonna watch that.
You just need to know. You gotta watch the MTV's The Maxx series. I'm telling you,
that
right there will be enough to get you versed.
And we'll try to find sometime this week between all the comic book reading and work and D&D and everything else I do. I promise I will find time.
It's a couple hours out of your day, man. I promise.
I'll fit it in.
So yeah, Joker shows up, but not before the Maxx goes off to search for Julie, because he wants to find he wants to make sure Julie's not trapped in this Outback.
Right.
And I'm not exactly. I have to recollect the first issue to understand why he may think that Julie's in this Outback. It's been a while since he and Julie have reconnected.
He is looking for the Jungle Queen. So his
That's
Outback
Julie.
Jungle Queen is Julie
yes.
in the real Gotham, correct?
Exactly. Not necessarily Gotham, but yeah.
Well, I think because when he finds Julie, she is in the real world in Gotham.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that's right. Okay. But yeah, normally Julie wouldn't be in Gotham.
Well, I mean, wherever she needs to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
That whole fluctuating dreamscape. I don't know. You know.
Gotcha. Okay. Right on. So yeah, the Joker shows up and he and Batman have their little bout, and Batman like while in the Outback, they're on top of what Batman perceives as this air whale. And it has this infected fin. But, the Joker knows, being that he's not affected by the Outback, knows that it's actually a blimp, that he has a bunch of his toxic Joker gas.
Right.
And then the Max shows up, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna help this whale by cutting off its fin."
Right. I'm gonna release the bombs. Don't worry, guys.
And the Joker's like, "This guy's fucking batshit."
Sure.
He's like, "This is your friend?"
So I understand all that, but I still don't get like the scope of all it. Like I am confused.
Okay,
As fuck.
so then they go to shore because
Mhm.
the blimp, they fall like
Sure.
from the fin or the bomb dropper for lack of
Yeah,
better
it
words.
makes sense because comic book.
But they drop in the water instead of Joker's original thing, and Joker's like, even fucking better. So the Max makes his way to shore, makes his way through the city, and he runs into Mr. Motherfucking Gone, which is the Max's arch nemesis. And the Max is not happy to see him. There is actually a
Do they call him Mr. Gone in the comic books? I don't think I knew that, but he's the guy in the blue purple robes, right?
Yeah, the bald head and the amazing goatee. Yeah,
Right,
that's
the wizard
Mr.
dude.
Gone.
Gotcha.
Not a wizard. Just one of the most evil motherfuckers. And watch that series, you'll understand why Mr. Gone is evil.
Really? Because in this one, it seems like he's trying to help the Max.
That's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh.
He's never going to help the Max. He wants to play with the Max.
Okay.
And just watching the intro, like the first 15 seconds of the opening intro, of how you're like, oh, okay. Because he's like, maybe I'll have a little fun with him first. So, yeah, no.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
And then, boom, Max is at whose door? Julie's door.
Yeah.
So, dude, Sam Keith is still fucking popping boners.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
No, I love it. I can't wait. I hope this series... I don't know. I know it's a mini-series, and I think it's only due for 6 issues or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope the Max comes back. I really do. I want to see the Max relevant again. And this is proof that that's possible. Doesn't need to be in crossovers. But the Max really is one of the best indie titles of all time. And I'm putting that in there with Spawn. I'm so bold as to say that.
Is he usually paired up with Image?
Max was originally an Image title, yeah, and then went to IDW, and then they produced Max Maximized, and that was it.
Well, maybe everybody, if you like the Max, let's hit up Sam Keith. Let's let him know that you love his work and that you want to see more.
Oh well, yeah. Everybody loves Sam Keith. I've never heard anybody in my life say they didn't like his work, and if they did, they'd probably ride a short bus.
Yeah. He's got his own style, which I really dig. So yeah, I'm becoming a fan.
He's my whole inspiration for, yeah.
So this next one, you really liked this one, didn't you?
Yeah. I was surprised with this one. Moving on to some DC titles now. DC and Hanna-Barbera are back to crossing over. So we got Superman and Top Cat #1.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Introduction of the Kalians.
Yeah, the Kalian Among Us. Dan Didio.
Names, y'all.
Yes. Nane Davis, Michelle Dalecki, Dean White, Jay Najin, and Hi-Fi. All on that creative team. The cover by Shane Davis, Michelle Dalecki, and Will Quintana. So we've got a Kalian.
Yeah.
And it sounds exactly like it is. We have a Kale-based alien.
Yeah, we do.
This story is a lot of fun. I recommend this to boys and girls of all ages.
Sure. Oh, definitely.
Whether you like Superman or not, I'm not a huge fan of Superman. The only Superman I've ever liked has been written by Brian Michael Bendis. But I don't look at this as a Superman title. I look at this as a Top Cat story. And
I think it's appropriate. Sure.
This is an older audience for sure. I think an older audiences, nostalgia folks from their 30s all the way up to 50s.
The real Hanna-Barbera generation.
Would really appreciate this. Top Cat. So, it starts out. Oh man, it is a lot of fun.
I gotta say, I do really love the Kalian design. That was just a really fun character.
It was. It kind of reminded me of a villain design from One Punch Man, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But so it starts out, there's like this salad under the stars festival where it's really just seems like a bunch of vegans just like
Oh,
sniffing their
it's
own
so
farts.
bitter, but oh my god, I love this spread. Can we just add a little bit of bacon? How dare you? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, bunch of fart sniffing vegans. And then everyone that eat the kale is like throwing up giant amounts of like vines, kale vines, if you will. I don't know nothing about kale. Except for the one guy that was like, bacon though. So he's running away, and this kind of is just like a prelude to
Yeah.
what the fuck's
I
gonna happen.
promise, let me live, and I'll only eat meat and meat byproducts.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So then after the event, Superman shows up, and he's like, I'm late as fuck. What the fuck's happening? Naturally. And they're explaining like there's like this kale monster or some shit. And then it like cuts to Wholesome Goods, which is a organic food store. And
Sprouts, alfalfa,
yeah,
Whole
yeah,
Foods, yeah.
whatever. Like, and then Top Cat apparently is working there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. Because why the fuck not?
Because he got a job because of Maine, or Wayne Manor?
Right.
Right, yeah.
Right. Something like that. And because there's kale in this store, the kale monster makes its way over there. Can you hear the snoring in the background from Doctor
Yeah.
Strangelove? The adorable Doctor Strangelove and Jarvis the dog making noise. Shut the fuck up. Alright, cool. So yeah, the kale monster shows up at Wholesome Goods. And Top Cat's there. Superman's like, hey, what the fuck happened? Because Superman at this point is on the trail of the kale monster.
Kalian, right.
The Kalian, yes. And Top Cat's like, well, I know. And Superman's like, well, why don't you meet me at the Daily Planet with my boy Clark Kent?
Right, right.
And so Top Cat meets there, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm here to meet Clark. And then immediately he's like, wait, you're Superman.
The hair, the glasses. Why would you tell me? Yeah, yeah. Just totally sees it.
And
Like,
Superman's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
apparent bullshit, alter ego. Right, right.
And that's really actually what sold me on the story the most is Top Cat is like, who the fuck are you fooling, dude?
Right.
And then so yeah, now you gotta team up.
Mhm.
And then they realize that there's like this massive kale distributor, this billionaire, whatever, superfood mogul, if you will.
Right,
And
the seller of sellers.
right, and you know they realize, well, this guy's probably the biggest target of this thing, because yeah, he's
Well, even the monster says, that is who I must get my retribution.
right. So they show up to go to help this guy, and then they realize that this guy is not all that good. He's actually exploiting other planets. You know, like they don't like say anything like this, but I'm imagining there's like a Brussels sprout planet out there or something like that.
And they kind of hinted to that. I mean,
Yeah.
they show Superman and the Kale monster fighting Top Cat's in this room with like 1,000 monitors, and he sees all these other alien planets being exploited.
Right.
The guy, like Miklos? Mikos?
Yes,
What was
yes,
his name?
exactly. His name's Alexander Mikos.
Mikos, right?
Yeah.
Even he says, like, oh, yes, after, like, the big profits of Kale, we went exploiting other planets. And
No, right.
a couple chair hitting, passes back and forth, a little bit of WWE.
Right. So then at this point, they realize, or Top Cat at least realized that the Kalian's the victim here, and he's
Sure.
like, he's just trying to, for one, like he was created as a weapon, but he's really just trying to redeem his people. That this asshole Mikos is like turned into American superfood.
Oh, sure, corporate greed motherfucker #1.
Exactly, yeah. And so yeah, the Kalian like takes him down, doesn't he? Like the Kalian gets to him first.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have Superman and Kalian fighting for a bit, and then Mikos releases some robot that was a enemy of the Justice League for a while off of some auction.com that he bought out.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's right.
Superman being Superman knocks him down. The Kalian does, like, pretty much jumps in his mouth like he's being chewed up by as Kale or whatever, and then destroys it.
Right.
They get their retribution, though. But the one thing I have a question for you is it shows that Superman, I believe, or maybe Tomcat relocated the Kalian to another planet of peaceful aliens. But that clip, that little panel they showed, showed like the Kaleen and all these supposed like peaceful aliens all gasping in fear of some bright light in the back of that panel. Is that a hint of something that's happening that I've missed? Is that what is that?
Well, it says here in that panel, well, he did seem happy there. Maybe this is the place he can regrow his people and rise from the ashes. Well, I don't know.
Is that the one with the Kaleen like gasping in the corner?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That hints to something like that planet was destroyed or something invaded it. This is the only crossover I read this week. Is there something else in the other ones I missed?
No. I'm not sure. But maybe it's just like a way of hinting at they didn't do as good as they thought. Like that's just like a slight little twist.
We found a good planet. Yay us! Oh no, he's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Or he's actually sending him to, or like he's by sending him to this planet, he could become a new predator to the civilization here instead, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they're showing some. They're hinting at some kind of like mass destructive power of some sort. I think.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure, but I loved it, man. I thought it was a really fun story.
Fun I didn't read the other 3D, 3 DC tie-ins this week.
Yeah.
Words are hard. But you have another one you want to talk about.
Yeah, the other one I read this week was the Deathstroke Yogi Bear. This was fun. This was called Jellystone Dark. Frank Thierry, Mark Texeria, and Jeremy Cox all on the creative team. Tyler Kirkman and Arif Prianto doing the cover. And this is really just kind of what you would expect out of a Daredevil Yogi Bear story. If you were to say if Daredevil and Yogi Bear met, under what circumstances would it be? And that's pretty much what I got, at least in my head.
I did the cover.
And the content was great. The way the voice of Yogi Bear was spot on. We got to see Boo Boo in here. Boo Boo played the victim in here, as far as like the catalyst to the, or part of being catalyst to the story. But I love the scene where it kind of starts out the introduction of Deathstroke, where it's these two guys in the bar arguing about who's the faster gunslinger. One of them's like, well, it's Huckleberry Hound, and the other one's like, no, it's Ricochet Rabbit. And then it comes down to the point where Deathstroke's in there and he sits down and as Slade.
Right, you're both dumb. Yeah.
Right, and he's like, well, how could it be Huckleberry Hound? He has hooves. And they're like, well, shoot, you got a good point. By the way, what are you doing here, City Slicker?
How does a dog have hooves?
Huckleberry, or not Huckleberry Hound, I'm sorry. Quick Draw McGraw.
Oh, Quick Draw McGraw.
Yeah, my bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my bad. Not Huckleberry Hound. Quick Draw McGraw. Fuck. Yeah, no. That's what I meant to say. So, yeah, no, that's... So, yeah, there's that. And then they realize that Slade is actually there to bounty hunt those two fellows.
Oh.
And then there's actually a third bloke that he's there, and he's like sneaks up behind Slade, and he's this giant feller. And he gives Slade a good run for his money, and you get this whole thing, and then Yogi shows up. Because he's like, well, you're a bounty hunter. Maybe you could help me find these sons of
picking at baskets?
Yeah, I didn't know how to make that very Yogi-like. That was much better than what I was going to do. I don't think Yogi would say fuck.
not the Yogi I remember.
So yeah, they're on this quest to find Boo Boo, and on the way, Yogi's like, so yeah, all this shit's going on where all the forest animals are like becoming like super vicious and very aggressive, and they're finding this out along the way. They like fuck up a rabbit, and he's like, oh yeah, I knew that guy. But he's very mean now, obviously, as you can see.
Of course.
And then they fall into what turns out to be the hive. And in the hive, they see like this massive cage of all these animals. Pretty much what we find out, they're being recruited as vicious animal army.
Mm-hmm.
By, in particular, Creepella.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she's recruiting this army. And Boo Boo was about to be part of that plan, And so that's how they're able to come across Hive and all that. And they end up Yogi in the most cartoon fashion possible. He pretends to like when he sees all the other animals and Creepella, he pretends to faint in fear.
Oh, of course.
Making himself closer to the release the cage button. So he's laying there all pretended to faint it and whatnot, and no one has their attention on him, and he hits the button, and all the animals like turn on Creepella and her crew, and Yogi and Deathstroke and Boo Boo get out, and they're like, alright, everything's free now. And then as it turns out, Creepella does end up like getting away in the end. They kind of leave that little cliffhanger there, but it was a fun story. It's like Deathstroke helping Yogi, but as it turned out, like really Yogi didn't need Deathstroke's help at all. Now that I think about it, he could have just went in himself. And no, he needed Slade there to be a fighting distraction. I guess.
Definitely. Slade, probably kill all the guys leading up to it.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the secret squirrel stories in these?
So, because I haven't gotten around to reading the other two, I'm going to go back and revisit the Secret Squirrel stories because I'm very excited about Secret Squirrel. I know that I read the first part of this and I was like, oh shit, I forgot. This is like a 4-part mini story or whatever spread throughout. And I was like, I'm not going to read these yet. But it was like very adult. Like, Secret...
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Not the Secret Squirrel I remember.
Yeah.
Right. Let's save our Secret Squirrel discussion for next week. Let's both promise. I'll read up on the other 3 I missed, and you on the other 2.
Oh, that's a bold promise, man. I'll do my best. Hopefully we can come across this, because I know that this coming week is deep.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Well. Alright, we'll have a long episode again next week.
Yeah, man, I've got 25 books on my pull list next week.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Alright, well, I've been working on
eventually, though. Eventually, we will get around to the Secret Squirrel story. We will say that. And if you want to donate as a Patreon, the first Patreon to say I want Secret Squirrel, we promise the next episode we'll have Secret Squirrel.
Yeah, we'll talk about what you guys want to hear.
Get on Patreon.com/Cheers to Comics. Donate for $1 a month. There's all types of perks and everything. The tiers go up, but yeah, join us. Help the cause, man. We want to talk about comics, and like I said, we like to integrate our fans into the show. If you have questions, whatever, but we really look at the Patreons, the donators, before anything. So for $1 a month, don't get the fucking Snickers bar. Get, one day, don't get a fucking Snickers bar, okay?
We'll really appreciate it.
Seriously.
Even visit our Facebook page.
Yeah, just the Cheers to Comics Facebook page. Y'all know how to Facebook. That's a thing. There's tons of outlets. There will be more. We're gonna polish up our Twitter.
Yeah, apparently Twitter decided to make our handle @comics_2. That's _TO. So you can find us there.
For now, we're gonna change that soon though. So yeah, eventually we'll be more active on Twitter for sure. But there's still ways to get a hold of us. So Facebook, Patreon. Give us $1. Give us $1. It's not a big deal.
Even if you don't, shoot us a question.
Help us do something great. So yes. But anyways, moving along.
Yeah, this next one. What do you think about this one?
So we got Batman Secret Files #1. Oh man, so we've got a plethora of writers involved here. It's just a plethora of creative teams. It's just a book of tiny little mini stories.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to go into detail on any of them, but just a lot of little small one-shots.
Yeah, covered by Michael Janine.
I like this cover. I'm a simple man with simple taste.
Yeah, no, Michael Janine's amazing. So yeah, there's several different stories on here by several different creative teams, like I said. It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I will say, if I had to pick one story, skip to the last one, World's Greatest Detective and Batman. Written by Tom Taylor,
yep.
Art by Brad Walker, Andrew Hennessy, and Jordi Belair doing colors. So this is a Bobo the Chimp and Batman story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's a Bobo the Chimp and Batman story.
Definitely.
And it's a lot of fun. I like Tom Taylor writing Batman. I love the way he writes the Wolverine ladies. I was very excited to hear that Tom Taylor had a part in a Batman story. Not to take away from any other of these mini stories in here,
No,
but
they're
the
all good.
Bubba the Chimp one is I think it's the longest one in here at like
For sure.
5 or 6 pages, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a good quarter of the book.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a lot of fun. I don't want to give anything away. I suggest you just read it for yourself. But Batman Secret Files making a resurgence. Sorry, this Kingpin got me the hiccups.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, it's good stuff.
It's only 7.5.
Only 7. Oh, jeez, man. Get loady, get loady. Let's chug along. Let's keep it DC.
I really like this one this week. We had a little bit different opinion on this one, but
Well, okay,
we both
so
liked it.
I will say this. My opinion on this book may be a little tarnished because some fucking twat asshole decided that like 3 hours after comic book stores opened, and this guy's an East Coast guy, so being further on the west in mountain time. Like, I understand it had been open an hour, but I went to my comic book store and I got on Facebook and the guy's like, "Oh, this happens!" And I was like, "You motherfucker! You motherfucker! This is the worst
Did that
spoiler."
really destroy your enjoyment of this book?
It didn't destroy it, but it tarnished it.
I mean,
Definitely
we're probably
tarnished
going to
it.
talk about it, so what was it?
Someone came out right off the bat and they're like, Tom King needs to be taken off of all Batman and DC stories because he killed Poison Ivy. And, I hope you know who you are listening to this podcast. I'm not going to call you out by name because I'm better than that. But I want you to know that you are at the top of my fucking shit list this week, man. Because this was my most excited book of the week. I was so fucking excited for Heroes in Crisis #2. Tom King, fucking Clayman, fucking Jordan Belair. This is a fucking story, a maxi series that everyone should be excited for.
I like it. I don't understand why
It was just immediately
it's
ruined.
ruined by it.
Not ruined, just tarnished because I didn't have anything to look forward to going into it at that point.
Why? I mean, who cares what some twat's opinion is, man? If you like Tom King,
Because I wanted the mystery. I knew someone was going to die. I know there's going to be several deaths in this story, but I didn't want to know that my most beloved female character in all of comic books was the one.
Well, they didn't say that Ivy dies. They just kind of
It's
implied.
It's pretty fucking implied,
It
man.
is, yeah,
And
she
especially
died.
with
That bitch
Tom
dead.
King coming out and saying that, like, no, these dead motherfuckers.
She gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was tarnished, but I will say, you know what? Read it yourself. I don't want to give anything away. This is one of these things. This will be a series that we will go through.
I like this one.
Massive detail once it's in completion. I will say that
You want to go through this?
I do.
All right. I'm
we'll
fine with that.
touch on little things here and there, issue by issue, but we will do a show on this at one point in time.
So,
Stay tuned for more than just once a week content from us, by the way, guys.
Is this saying that we're gonna do a little in review of Heroes in Crisis one of these weeks?
One of these weeks, we absolutely will.
Alright.
Once the story's to completion.
Let's commit to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Let's shake on it.
For sure.
Perfect.
But yeah, because it's just good enough to where I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Definitely. I love the art. I'm really intrigued on the story. I want to see where they're taking this.
Yes, and I
I'm
apologize to anybody. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about spoilers on this show, but this book is something I will do my best to keep spoilers from. And you have had a week. This guy, I just got into my fucking car. I got into my car, and I get a Facebook notification from this twat, and it says, "Well, Tom King needs to be taken up fucking DC, cause apparently he's not doing anything fucking right, cause it don't like me. It doesn't appeal to my fucking interest. And by the way, no warning about a spoiler. Fucking Poison Ivy died."
Alright, well, let's try to forget this fucking nerd. Let's talk about this next one. What do you think of X-Men Black?
Let's move on to Marvel, guys. X-Men Black, Emma Frost, #1. Look at me, just back to cool, calm, and collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you told me you weren't a real big fan of this one.
Well, I wasn't a huge fan. It wasn't. What was the last one?
Last one was Juggernaut, I think.
No, the one before last was Juggernaut. The first one was Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
last
then it was JoJo.
Mystique.
Oh, it was Mystique.
It was, yeah, no, Mystique has been I will say that, yeah, out of all of these, Mystique was my favorite after reading Emma Frost. But Emma Frost is probably, yeah, Emma Frost is definitely second. Now that I think
I
about
kind
it.
of liked them all. I think Juggernaut was the only one I just didn't really care for.
Yeah, Juggernaut was
It's a pretty weak comic.
somewhat weak, but we don't judge.
Alright, so this one starts off with Emma Frost meeting the ex-kids at the local Walmart.
Oh, no, not Walmart. Sorry, Walmart.
Walmart, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah, they're meeting at this public location,
Mm-hmm.
the Walmart, to take down the Hellfire Club.
Mm-hmm.
The Hellfire Club.
I don't know anything about the Hellfire Club. Can you fill me in?
No.
No?
No.
We don't know anything about the Hellfire Club. If you are listening to this show...
I don't think anybody knows anything about the Hellfire Club.
If you do know about the Hellfire Club, if you think you know about the Hellfire Club, or if you want to sound cool and think you know the Hellfire Club...
If you want to make some shit up about the Hellfire
hit us
Club...
up. We'll read that.
Yeah, no we won't.
So, you didn't like something because there wasn't, like, much of a twist. There wasn't much of a secret, but I would argue there is. It's just one that we all saw coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just Emma Frost doing Emma Frost, man. She goes through and does Emma Frost shit, and then she takes over and becomes a bad bitch like Emma Frost is.
Let me be awesome and use my mind control techniques and my impenetrable skin, and you help me do all the dirty work, and I will become the leader of a new gang.
So here's honestly my biggest gripe. It's not necessarily a lack of twist. My biggest gripe is we're like, all right, cool. Emma Frost is like about to work with the X-Men. Then all that whole thing is pretty much to just send them away.
Well,
and then like I kind of wanted to see like Emma Frost in the I wanted to see him fuck with them or see her fuck with them a little bit more. Like manipulate them just a bit more. Like maybe make them do her bidding. And it turns out that whole like Walmart meeting.
That's fair, but these are also like the most powerful X-Men. So I think it's fair. This wasn't the story that they were telling.
No, for sure. And I totally respect that. I do. It's just my story would have just been a wee different as all. I'm like, I'm not mad at them for not telling my story, but don't get that twisted.
Sure.
It's just mine's better. I'm kidding.
You know, I liked it because, again, they just show off of how much of a badass that Emma Frost is. And she is a badass.
Yeah, for sure. So let's, like, I always want to make sure I give a shout out to the creative team before moving on. So before we move along, like, I do want to give Lee Williams you do on writing the story. This has been a fun.
For 20 pages,
yeah.
I was entertained.
Yeah, Chris Picciolo and a bunch of other people on this art team, actually. And J. Scott Campbell and Sabine Rich rounding off the fifth of the X-Men Black covers. He's done them all so far. J. Scott Campbell just knows how to create sex appeal, especially with Emma Frost.
Sure. I mean, It's very stylistic, very, very sexy art design.
Yeah,
for sure. It sells the story.
Yup. So, do you have anything else to say about X-Men Black?
I liked it. Yeah, I did.
Right on. No, I don't dislike it. It just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah,
that's
fair enough.
though. Number 2.
Here is a Marvel story I'm not reading yet. Tell me why I should be reading West Coast Adventures.
It's fun. It's a fun story, man. I don't know why. I don't know why I subscribed to this. Like, I usually catch on to number 1s, especially with Marvel. If the dogs are snoring, sorry. The Boston Terrier, it's all fucking sinuses.
Yeah.
Sinuses,
love them anyway. They're
more sinuses than brains, that's for fucking sure. But anyways.
So who makes the West Coast Avengers?
Kelly Thompson is writing. Stefano Caselli, Triona Farrell on the creative team. This cover by fucking Stefano Caselli and Nolan Woodard. And in legacy numbers, this is number 105 if you keep track of the big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But so West Coast Avengers is made up of a very fun team. To just name a few, it's Kate Bishop is the leader. Hawkeye plays a part here and there naturally, just because Kate Bishop is a thing. Uh, America Chavez is. I've never liked America Chavez more than I have liked Kelly Thompson writing America Chavez and West Coast Avengers. I love that she's a part of this team.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan at first, but I was like, oh shit, I got a powerhouse. They got Quasar, who is just an Omega level mutant.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's fun that we got an Omega level mutant that no one is just completely overlooked throughout the years. Yeah, he's not an irrelevant character. He's just and even the team's like, what the fuck is he doing here? And then we got Gwenpool, who is just a self-aware. Yeah. So and then there's another guy too. Forgive me for not remembering his name, but he has the ability to like turn his skin to different forms of matter. So he can like turn into adamantium or brick or whatever.
Oh, cool. Right on.
So it's this fun misfit group, and it's West Coast Avengers, man. It's Avengers on the West Coast. And
I like seeing a lot of these lower or lesser known names getting some stories. So
yeah,
it's definitely one you recommend to other people out there.
I recommend this story to everybody, and so far of all ages. A lot of people, I hear a question get asked a lot, like if I want to introduce my younger daughter to a comic, what would it be? Why not a comic that like you as a grown adult dad could read as well and still relate to? West Coast Avengers is fun.
Oh,
it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
The
easy
art
to follow.
Yeah.
How about the art?
The art's relatable. It's not hyper detailed in a good way. Like the colors are very relatable. It's fun. The story, it's not hyper violent, but at the same time, it's still action packed for the adults.
All right, let me add this one to my ever-growing list.
And it's early too. It's only at number 3, so it's a monthly comic, so it's not gonna weigh you down. Fucking $4 a month, eat it.
Cool.
It's worth it. But yeah, no, the story with this one, it's just kind of like, so we have Tigra, a giant tiger pouncing around like it has been since issue 1, and the West Coast Avengers are like, she's cool. She's just obviously not herself right now.
Right.
And then Brodok is this thing, which is kind of like MODOK, if you will, just a bro version, and very like fucking Baywatch type of Chad motherfucker,
Very 2000 something.
Yeah. Babe magnet or whatever, and everyone's like, what is this?
Hey, babe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's like, fucking, okay, so you're weird. As it turns out, he is the mastermind behind this whole thing. We got behind Giant Tiger, there's a bunch of other giant monsters going on, and
oh no, nobody saw it coming.
yeah, pretty much. And that's for the most part, that's what you're getting out of this story. It's actually action from page to page,
cool.
Which is fun. And towards the end, you see Kate Bishop actually get kidnapped by Brodok, and she's down in his lab, and she gets turned into a fucking hawk. So we're realizing that all of these animal people are actually people or these giant monster animals attacking the city behind Tiger are actually people that have been experimented on and turned into an animal of some sort. So it's fun, and it's that kind of story. You're like, oh shit, all these people are animals, and they turn giant, and they're aggressive, so we can't hurt them because they're actually real people. So we have to find a non-violent way to take down these massively aggressive, violent spirit animals, if you will.
Sweet.
And yeah, no, I recommend it to everybody. I am fully on. I was very skeptical. Like when I signed up for it, I was like, all right, just issue 1. And then I read issue 1, and I was like, this is on the pull. This is it. I'm all aboard.
Cool. Well, I guess this is another thing that I can be expected to talk about the next issue.
Eventually, yeah. So next up we have Daredevil 610, written by Charles Soule, art by Phil Noto, cover by Phil Noto.
This is one you keep talking about, but I just haven't put any time into yet.
So this is part 2 of the Death of Daredevil arc that's going on. It started at 609, so this is the second issue of my jumping on point for Daredevil. And I am not any less impressed than I was with 609. I am on with Daredevil.
What does it for you this one? Is it the art? Is it the story?
It's actually a little bit of nostalgia for me with a certain character, Reader. Yeah, he is an inhuman, he's blind, his power is to be able to... Whatever he reads comes to fruition, but when he was young, once the Terrigen Mist hit him, the other people in his village actually took out his eyes and blinded them so he couldn't read anything. So now he carries around very specific, I want to say it's like 7 different braille cards that he pretty much has on deck. And he has this dog that he is able to, one of his braille cards allows him to be able to see through something. And he very often uses his dog as that vessel to be able to see through.
So appropriate that that's what we're hearing right now.
Yeah. What you that very vicious growling you're hearing right now is the 11-pound Dr. Strangelove trying to pull a bone out of a 78-pound American Bulldog.
Jarvis doesn't think he's even fighting. He's just kind of laying there holding on to it.
Yeah. So these guys are rudely interrupting, but if they go out anywhere else, they'll eat everything. So better in than out. Gotta
Plus,
deal with it.
they're really cute, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll post a picture of them.
Yeah. Well, on the Patreon page, we'll post it on the Patreon page. How about that? I'll post a little Patreon.
All right. You heard it. Brian's gonna put it up there.
So this issue kicks up in 609 and into a Daredevil reuniting with Elektra. This issue.
Gross.
Yeah, I know. This issue falls right back into that scenario with Daredevil and Elektra.
Is this going to become an Elektra story, or would I enjoy this? Because I
Elektra
never liked
is part of this, but it's not an Elektra story. It's a Daredevil leading a Misfit team-up story.
She's just never interested me as a character.
Me
She's always been like very 2D, very see-through. Just I've just never liked the character either.
Me either. I can't stand the bitch.
I wouldn't go that far, but she's just...
No, she's ruined one of my favorite Marvel characters by being the love interest. And, y'all know I hate love interest, but this character in particular, I really can't stand her.
I love a good love interest, and I just can't say this is
bad
a good one.
Yeah,
Right,
this is a bad one. I mean, it's an everlasting bad one, but isn't that what a lot of bad relationships are?
So
just
it's
go
on again, off again, forever.
So, yeah, anyway, so these guys do the dirty, and then I think they realize they have a common enemy in Fisk, so Daredevil's like, hey, check it out, we got this team going on, I know a bunch of blind folks that don't like Fisk, why don't you come in?
Naturally.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be a bunch of blind people, I don't know if it's ironic or not, but they all wear sunglasses and are fucking clueless.
Okay.
So Elektra joins this team, and they're like, so, you know what Wilson Fisk loves is his boy Wesley. So they're like, well, we get a lot of information out of Wesley, so let's kidnap Wesley, and we're, just do just that, get information out of him, and, gain high ground on Wilson Fisk. And they do just that. They kidnap Wesley, and while they're doing their thing, they get ambushed. And if you read 609, they kind of slightly introduce this new character. He has like this bone dagger they throw, and that's kind of like the clue that gives away what's going on here is because they pulled the same bone dagger out of the tire that stops, this whole thing.
Oh.
So yeah, Daredevil naturally is like, oh yeah, I think I know this motherfucker. And what do you know? He shows up.
Gotta love foreshadowing.
His name be Vigil. Vigil. And so we get a fight with Elektra, Daredevil, and the Vigil. And as it turns out, the Vigil is very powerful. He does have some sort of powers for sure. He's a very skilled combatant. But in the car accident during, the ambushed heist of Wesley, Daredevil knocked his head, so his radar vision is very messed up. So he doesn't quite know what's going on right now. At the level he normally would.
So thematically, he just can't.
Right.
He's fuzzy on all the details.
Right. Like, you could tell, like, with Vigil's movements, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy's obviously got some shit going on. Like, he realizes, when Vigil first shows up, he's way up high. And then he comes down, and, like, he's still able to notice, like, oh, shit, he came down far. This guy's got powers. Like, that's his first sign that he has powers.
Mm.
And then, you see, at that point, it's, that's when the fight begins. And Elektra's like, and she's holding her own with, Vigil. And Daredevil's like, oh shit, my radar's not so good. Like, he goes, I know what's going on, I'm not good enough to, be able to fight. And then he finally like, oh, maybe I'll step in, and he just gets fucking owned, just like he thought he would.
Blurry ear vision.
Yeah. But when Vigil counters Daredevil's first attack, it actually, like, it defuzzifies Daredevil. So he's slowly getting his shit back, and then he's starting to realize that, oh shit, Elektra's, doing good. And then then he has this thought where he was like, well, I think that's the reason why Elektra and I could never work. It's because she always has the interest to kill. Like, Daredevil's starting to realize that she's no holds barred on this, like, kill. And Daredevil is, still about doing his Catholic, people say that Daredevil's superpower is his religion. That's what keeps him going, is his do-goodism. Otherwise, he would very much be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see him, it's pretty much, like, a good majority of this book is being narrated via Daredevil's thoughts. So
you really get inside the head of Daredevil.
Yeah, for sure. And he's like, it's very observational.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cool story because it's action-packed. It is, almost the whole way through. Because you got, like, the car chase with Wesley and, minus the first few pages with the reuniting of Daredevil and Elektra. Like, it's good stuff. And then Vigil ends up pretty much, I guess, he just gets away.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is what weirded me out was Elektra she has this line like, you seem surprised, you shouldn't be, killers kill. This was a mistake. Goodbye. I'll remember you. And that's the last page. So there's like very little dialogue between the two of them once the chase is going on. Like I said, it's heavily narrated by Daredevil's thoughts. And then all of a sudden, Daredevil's like, oh no, a killer! This guy's for real. And Elektra's like, well, why are you surprised by this? Because, that's what it was. As Vigil, like, gets away, Daredevil's chasing him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, as long as nobody gets killed. And then he hears it, because, like I said, he's not fuzzified anymore in his head. Mm-hmm. His radar's very much back. On Vigil's way out, he just, like, randomly kills this innocent guy. And that's when, like, Daredevil's standing over his body and Elektra catches up and they realize, okay, yeah, no, this guy is a killer. Because before this, he hasn't killed anything. He's just, like, deterred, stood in the way for the most part.
Sure.
And then, it's like Elektra's offended that Daredevil...
Dark vigilante, all Red Hood.
Yeah. And then it just says to be continued from there. So, it was a fun story. Just the ending confused me very much.
We're only, 3 issues into this one?
2 issues into the series of the death of Daredevil.
Alright, maybe I should hop into this one. Maybe I'll ride this journey with you.
For sure. So moving along, we have Old Man Hawkeye, number 10 by Ethan Sachs, art by Greg Cicchetto, and color by, forgive me, Andres Mosa. And I will say that I'm just going to come out and say the interior art of the week. I think it's a given for me to say Sam Keith, but Greg Cicchetto's doing it again. This guy's amazing. He's an underutilized artist, and it's probably because he puts his heart and soul into single projects.
I don't know anything about this one, really.
Yeah, so Mark Cicchetto also did the cover. So, Old Man Hawkeye, number 10, Blood from a Stone. This is number 10 of a 12-part series. Oh, man. The story just... there's no dip in this story. It just continues to just plateaued amazing. Like it started out amazing and just plateaued. There's no pulse. And I mean that in the best way. It's just the pulse is within the story. So with this one, it's Clint and Kate are on their way to find Moonstone. Apparently, I forget what the purpose of Moonstone is, but apparently there's something important that Clint and Kate need from Moonstone.
Sure.
So on their way, they encounter this buried sentinel, and the sentinel kind of, I mean, it like fights back, and there's signs particularly relating to the fact that Moonstone has fought this sentinel.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, we're getting close. And the fight between Kate and Clint and the Sentinel, I will say it's awesome. It's a couple pages long, many panels. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. And so these guys are going on doing their thing, and they realize, after they defeat the Sentinel, they're like, oh shit, Moonstone's been here, so we're on the right path. And then as soon as they realize, like this horde of what looks like lepers comes up, and, they're definitely, very hostile towards these people, and they're like, wait, no, Moonstone or some shit like that. And they're like, wait, Moonstone, and we know. And they're like, oh, maybe we'll sacrifice you. And Clint's like, well, we're friends. They're like, well, we'll see about this. So they bring him to Moonstone. And Moonstone's like, oh, yeah, fucking, they realize that Moonstone is actually one of Clint's old love interests back when they were young.
Oh, okay.
And Moonstone is now not attractive at all, very deteriorated. The Moonstone that she possesses is pretty much just deteriorating her life in return for her power, for the most part. So you get all of that, and then you get a fight. And this is all very paraphrased, obviously, because I want you guys to enjoy this book. So yeah, you get this fight with Moonstone and all them, but in the meantime, you get like this small cut of Marshall Bullseye tracking Hawkeye's, and that's something badass is gonna happen there. Fucking Bullseye or Marshall Bullseye. Like in this future, this apocalyptic future. I practiced saying that word.
Yeah.
And then and then we start. Zemo is mentioned very much in this, and then you cut to, like Moonstone's whole thing is she wants to prove herself worthy to Red Skull by killing, Hawkeye. Like that's really what sparks their fight. She wants to prove herself worthy to Red Skull. And what better to prove herself worthy to Red Skull than to kill the person that bested Zemo, Red Skull's partner in this whole, new future. So, yeah, that's where that all comes from. And then they find another Sentinel, which Moonstone actually also sent on the Hawkeyes during that whole fight. So the Hawkeyes had to put up with some shit. And then, so after they defeat the second Sentinel, they realize there's some coordinates in there for Zemo, because they realize Zemo is actually the manufacturer of these Sentinels, so that's how they do their detectiving. And then it cuts to Zemo in this laboratory, and you hear him say, well, we have perfected the super soldier serum, and that's the end. And you see this, big Captain America-esque shirtless bra.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah, no, I think we're going to get, obviously we're getting, the super soldier serum has come back, because in this world of old men, there's very few heroes left.
Right, most of them are gone.
Right, Captain America is not a thing. This is not Captain America. So we're going to get a fight like that. So that's why I'm excited. We're probably going to get Bullseye in the next issue. There's only 2 issues left. So there's a lot of fucking shit to be excited about with this series.
Okay.
Absolutely. Cool. Ethan Sachs is fucking killing it. And what we mentioned earlier with Old Man Quill, you bet your goddamn titty dicks I'm playing fucking into Old Man Quill with Ethan Sachs writing, because this guy cannot fucking fail.
Speaking of old man, did you read Old Man Logan this week?
I did not, and I know it's coming to an end.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a good time to jump on, but I read my first Old Man Logan this week and wasn't disappointed. It showed an old man, very injured Wolverine at the mercy of one green Hulk-like Maestro. At the beginning, he's trying to wordplay himself into being spared a few more seconds as he tries to use the Regenerex to heal, to boost his regeneration. Of course, it doesn't work, so we have some story plots. We show a rebel group that I guess injured one of their own last episode because he helped Logan, and they're cowards. They're gonna turn him in. A lady of a man who's been hung by Maestro as part of acting up against him. She fools her way into talking Logan, who's chained up by Maestro's men. And she said, hey, my husband was killed because of this man. Give me 5 minutes with him. They do. And she works out with him, like, I want to help you stop this man. Help me help you. And he explains to her that he needs the Regenerex. She goes to her daughter, who happened to be there to see her father, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to ruin a lot of it for you. If you haven't read it, then you probably aren't going to read it. If you have, I'm now interested with you.
Well, here's the thing. If I will say one thing, my biggest regret in the time I've gotten back into comics is passing up on Old Man Logan from the get-go. I very much regret not buying into Old Man Logan. And from what I understand, it's one of the best continuing series out there, no matter who's writing it. I know that Mark Miller was the start of it. And now I don't know who's writing it now, but I know that it's still very well reviewed. I regret not jumping on those last 50 issues.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Let's pick one of these weeks down the road once we're caught up on other stuff, and let's talk about this one.
Yeah, the next time we have a light week like last week, we'll definitely take advantage. Okay.
So if you want to know the current writer is Ed Bryson.
Yep.
The current artist is Ibram Robertson and Neil Edwards. We've got the color artist Carlos Lopez, and the letterer VC's Corey Pettit.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. I forget. Like I said, it's harder for me to remember this stuff because I don't see it.
Right, you're not subscribed to it right now.
Basis. Sure. But I do really. But I will say that I'm totally on board for Dead Man Logan when it comes that 12 issue Maxi series. I'm all aboard Dead Man Logan because I know that Wolverine is back. Wolverine does whatever a Wolverine does. Wait.
Yeah. What's the next one you got? Oh, this is the one I have not read.
Yeah, so Tony Stark, Iron Man number 5, 2020 Vision is the name of this bit of story. Dan Slott's writing, Max Dunbar on art, Gang Hyuk Lim, Dono Sanchez Almara also helping with the art, covered by Alexander Lozano. So let me just start out by saying this cover is dope as fuck. I think it's foreshadowing something mega dope. And when I first picked up this cover, I was like, what the motherfucker is this shit? What? And then I read the book, and I was like, hold on. And then I looked at the cover, and I was like, oh, this is dope. So, this is a story about Arno Stark, Tony Stark's brother. I believe he is said to be supposedly smarter than Tony. So, the introduction is him pretty much just like on this conquest of being a philanthropist.
Right.
So you like see him, he like attaches this arm to this guy. And I love that this arm is obviously a female's arm. It's a white guy, and this is not a white guy's arm that gets attached to it. And the guy's like, what the fuck? He was like, well, it was perfectly fresh, and it had the exact same muscle structure as your arm. And the guy's like, alright, okay, cool. And then he like goes to pick it up. He's like, wait a second, how am I moving this already? He goes, this should take weeks. He goes, well, it should, but I flew halfway around the world to do this. So, I mean, you got my work. So this guy's obviously, he knows what's up.
So he's a surgeon /
He's a doctor.
philanthropist.
He's a doctor.
Oh.
Yes. I guess I forgot to leave that out. He's Dr. Stark.
Okay.
So yeah, he does this surgery and it's very effective or whatever. And then he like drops off this violin to this guy, and he goes like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, am I gonna be able to play? So a guy, obviously this guy's like a concert pianist or something like this. So shit, picks up that violin and just starts.
Of course, has to be better than Tony in every way, right?
Yeah. So all right, great success. Moving along, he goes out to this desert and he discovers this plottable crop of wheat that is able to be grown in the desert in Sudan or something like that. And everyone's like, holy fuck!
You just solved global hunger.
For the big part.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, like, Africa thanks you.
Now we can all be fat like America.
Dude. So, and then, he goes to the scene where he's like underwater and he's like in this very Iron Man like submersive suit. Like it looks very much like even his like helicopter's like red and gold.
Well, isn't your helicopter?
No, mine's pink.
Oh, okay. Very bold. Very bold.
Yeah, breast cancer awareness, bro.
Year round.
Yeah. Wait, that was last month. But year round, that just goes to show.
Year round.
Yeah. On Patreon, I can get a helicopter if you donate.
Yeah. Buy us helicopters. We really, really will love you.
You get them at a discount if they're pink. That's why I said mine's pink. It's second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going for the red and gold.
Moving along.
I'll save up.
So Tony Stark is in this submersive suit down underwater, and he introduces this engineered this organism to be able to combat pollution to the point where it devours it no matter what it is, and somehow it just
Okay, so we can all be
disappears.
Completely ignorant.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But the fact is he's like in this particular lock. I want to say it's like in Ireland or something like that. He cleans it up. So they're like showing all of this amazing stuff he's doing.
As a hero.
Yes. So then he gets this call that really intrigues him. It's funny too because he's like also there's this call where he's like skipping through a whole bunch of calls too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very well written actually.
So this is one you definitely pay attention to. You draw your attention to this one.
It's fun. At first, I figure this issue to be very irrelevant, and then the way Slott wraps it up at the end, which I'll get to very shortly, it really like increased my love for this title. For not, well, let me just continue along without giving anything away. So he gets this call. From this cowboy. He owns this livestock farm, and apparently it's a guilt-free livestock farm. So he grows this cattle that has no brain, if you will. It's headless cattle, so that there's no feeling. At least that's what the farmer thinks. So so he's starting to get like what he calls these malfunctions with a certain like every few cattle all of a sudden he gets this malfunction. They act up. So he's like, all right. So he goes out. Arno goes out there, and he's like, well, show me the whole thing. So the guy's like, so we actually like they do have a little bit of a brain. They have enough brain to be able to process food,
self-survival,
defecate, like 4 basic things or whatever.
Keep them alive.
And he goes, and it's all powered by like this microchip we implant in this tiny excuse for a brain that's like barely powerful enough to power a microchip.
Is it AI?
I mean, not a microchip, a calculator is what he means to say. It's not AI, no. So, Arno's just like, alright, so, they're adjourned to dinner, and, before they go to dinner, the owner shows, like, what one of these malfunctions is. Like, one of them happens all of a sudden. And so it's pretty much just like how you would expect a rabid bull to be. You know, it just like kicks around and causes a whole bunch of ruckus or whatever. But according to this livestock owner, he's like, it's not supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to have feeling or whatever. So then they go to dinner, and the guy's like, oh yeah, we just cut this so and so hours ago. And then it dawns on Arno, is like, wait, how many hours ago? And then he lines up the math. He's like, well, that's when that one beast went crazy. And he goes, wait, these microchips, are they all on the same Wi-Fi? And then he's like, oh shit. These guys have more feeling than you think. Because they have so little feeling, they're more adjourned to one feeling. Because
they're more sensitive.
They're more sensitive. So because they're all... And then all this, on cue, a whole fucking stampede of them comes in through where they're eating. And it's like this whole thing. And Tony's like, well, I have the... Or, I keep saying Tony. My bad. Arno's like, well, I think I have the knowledge to be able to get out of this. Like, desensitize yourself. And the guy's like, well, I don't know how to do that. And Arno's like, well, I guess I didn't say I didn't have the knowledge for you to survive this. Then it's insinuated that this owner gets trampled by his own people, because then you just see Arno covered in blood. And then he goes away.
So good a guy.
And then he shows up, and then there's this very familiar character that Brian Michael Bendis made familiar writing Iron Man, called Sunset. And she's like this reporter chick that pretty much kind of always has it out to try to expose Tony for the most part. Mm-hmm. Well, shows up to Arno, and he was like, wait, you don't like Tony, huh? Well, we could be cool. And they go out to dinner and all this stuff. So it's very much insinuating that Arno is...
The next big rival of one Mr. Stark.
Yes, his own brother. And I will say that this was very well written by Slott. At first when I was reading, I was like, why? Why the fuck am I reading this? Why? And then I realized it's to show that the Stark family is very much brilliant, which is ironic because Tony himself is not actually a Stark. He's adopted. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, he's not actually a Stark. He's just smart on accident, I guess. It suited him. You're a product of your environment. Apple
Nature
doesn't fall far
nurture.
from the tree. Something like, yeah, there you go. But, so yeah, I was never aware of Tony having a brother. I know he has a crazy cousin, but I was not aware of him having a brother, being a hardcore Iron Man fan. And I will say that this book was done very, very well.
Cool.
And I'm excited for issue number 6. I know it's going to keep going. Damn, Slott. Dude, you lost me at first, and then you picked it right up. And then I revisited looking at that cover, and I was like, this is foreshadowing something awesome. Like, this cover... Buy it so you could fucking see the cover, because it's awesome. Seriously.
All right.
And that's for the most part what I read this week. Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Said we have some more to talk about.
We do. We have wall books.
What's coming out next week?
We have
wall books.
Wall books. So I just have a couple of wall books this week. We talked about it earlier. I actually ended up reading it just because I was very interested. But the first one was the DC Hanna-Barbera cover 2 semi-virgin variant of Deathstroke Yogi Bear.
Yeah, this is one I wanted to read. I just didn't bring myself to it.
Yeah, well, no, this one's going up on the wall too. Not only did it get read, it's getting posterized. And Paulo Pantalina with Arif Prianto did this cover, and fucking kudos, fellas. That was amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. But I will say that my cover of the week goes to cover B of Batman Maxx with the Arkham Dreams number 2. Yeah. The Sam Keith variant. We got the Joker and Mr. Gone sharing faces.
I really like that Joker. That's a good one.
Oh my god. Sam Keith, dude, fucking so good, man. Only 2 books this week, but no lack of quality by any means.
No, for sure. Both great covers.
Kudos. For sure. Do you have a read of the week? Book you like the most?
The book I liked the most, I honestly really liked Heroes in Crisis. There's a lot of little things going on. It really piqued my interest, and it really left me waiting for more.
Yeah?
So, yeah, I really liked that. It was that was my standout of the week for sure. That's the one I keep thinking about.
Right on. Sweet, man. Well, I gotta say, my book of the week, if I had to choose, would go to Batman Max Arkham Dreams. Originally, I thought actually Superman Top Cat, and then I remembered how good Batman and Max was after skimming through it
Yeah,
again.
I would love to be more versed in this story. I think I would really appreciate it more. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely an entertaining read for sure.
Right on. So moving along to next week's books, what we're excited for. This is by no means everything that's coming out, but
Oh,
on
dear
Wednesdays, newbies, this is when comics happen. I'm learning that there's a secret society out there in certain towns where they put out books earlier. Those lucky bastards. But for the most part, for most human beings, you get your books on Wednesdays. So, this is why this podcast is released on Wednesdays, and we want to tell you what we're excited for. Like I said, we don't discriminate. A lot of the stuff is what's on our pull list, what may go on our pull list, what we think may be good for a new reader, even if we're not quite familiar with it, just based off of hearsay.
Loose knowledge.
Yes, exactly. Loose knowledge. Look at you. Using dictionary words.
Alright, so what is first on your list?
In the world of DC, let's talk about Batman. Batman number 58. Tom King and Mikel Janin doing that. I love it. It's a good thing. There's also a variant cover being done by Francesco Mattina.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, he's got 4 coming out this week actually, and
Yeah?
I will touch.
I do really love one of those.
This one. I love me some penguins, so it's got the penguin's big ol' schnoz being drawn by Francesco Mattina, and the interiors have Mikel Janin doing it, so it's just gorgeous all around. And Batman is just still a kick-ass story.
Yeah, this is a story I'm definitely
very
loving.
much on my pull list. I own 1 through 58.
Nice.
We also got Deathstroke number 37, Christopher Priest and Slava Persson.
I love that Francesco cover for that one. That is one of my favorites this week.
He also
hands down
has a Deathstroke variant coming out this week. This is amazing. It's got Two-Face on it. I love the very small spots, but the color in those small spots are so vibrant and different from the rest of the tone of the page that just
totally
makes it pop.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my cover of next week so far.
Oh yeah,
For sure. Hands
bold
down.
statement.
So far.
Cool.
So far.
Cool. Green Arrow number 46. Julie Benson, Shauna Benson, and German Peralta. Green Arrow continues on, number 46. This one right here, big news. It's finally here. Grant Morrison is back, bitches. Leon Sharp doing shit. We got Green Lantern number 1. So Grant Morrison, like I said, he's back. People have been anxiously waiting for his return, and what better way to bring back Hal Jordan? So, it says here, superstar writer Grant Morrison returns to DC alongside Red Hot artist Liam Sharp to launch a new ongoing series. That's ongoing, people. This is not a mini-series. Grant Morrison is fucking back. The Green Lantern in this debut issue, when their space cop Hal Jordan encounters an alien hiding in plain sight, it sets off a chain event that rocks the Green Lantern Corps and quite possibly the multiverse at large to its very core. There's an intergalactic conspiracy afoot, as well as a traitor in the Green Lantern Corps ranks. So strap in your dildos for more mind-bending adventures in this masterpiece in the making. This, guys, I don't know why it says dildos. This is gonna get weird. Just kidding, it doesn't say dildos. But guys, get excited. Like, fucking Grant Morrison is back.
Yeah? Is this must grab?
I think he'd be stupid. And I will say this. I think you're stupid if you don't fucking at least give this a shot. I have never once picked up a Green Lantern issue that wasn't for just maybe like the cover.
Mm-hmm.
This, I'm excited. I get to know about Green Lantern and his
All right.
6th volume.
That's a lot of faith in Grant.
Yes, yes. Moving along, Harley Quinn, number 53, Sam Humphries and Lucas Wennick. So Harley Quinn continuing on. There's also a cool Frank Cho variant with that one too. We also have, oh, what do you know?
Nightwing. This is one I'm excited for. I've been really vested on the story so far. This is Nightwing Volume 2 by Scott Lobdell and Chris Mooneyham. The synopsis for this one is: the city of Bloodhaven is descending into madness, with citizens falling victim to not only a group of vigilantes taking justice into their own hands, but to a new brand of fear focused on the past. While Grayson is happy to simply look to the future and move forward in his life, how will he deal with a threat that originates in his past? A threat dead set on destroying the boy who fears nothing. A threat that goes by the name of Scarecrow. Will Grayson continue to leave it all behind, or will he be left to no other choice but to pick up the pieces of Nightwing's shattered life, starting with the mask?
I am all aboard with
Definitely.
the Nightwing story. I like the new Rick Grayson. Did it say Dick in there at all? No, it just says Grayson.
Just says Grayson.
Okay. I'm okay with Rick Grayson. I know I gave harsh criticism. Not even harsh criticism. I was just busting balls. Or should I say busting dicks? No,
I
the
think
story.
you were saying we want more Dick.
Is that what I said?
That's what I gathered from
I was on Ambien when I said that.
Sure. Heroes End.
But no, this is. I'm excited to keep reading this story. I like where this is going.
Me
I
too.
like where 51 left off.
I
I
love the tie-in with
Scarecrow.
Batman.
Scarecrow is one of my favorite rogues, so
Oh, definitely.
son bitch, keep it going. Let's jump into. Oh boy, how about we just jump right into Marvel, huh? Oh no, I'm sorry. Let's go into Image. Yeah, we still got love for indies. Image Comics, Bully Wars #3. This one, after issue 1, I felt like I should have dropped it, to be honest. And something told me keep it going. And then I don't know if I just stuck with my instincts or I forgot to drop it. But I got it when issue 2 came out. It was in my list, and I was like, all right, cool. I read it, and I was like, oh, I'm glad that the comic gods. The comic gods definitely did not want me to drop this book. I was cool with how issue 2 pulled it out. So issue 3's out now. So this is Scotty Young writing and Aaron Conley doing the art. This is fun. Almost an all ages story. I don't know. No, I don't know if it curses or not, but it's fun. It's the nerds helping out the bully to become the best bully so that they have an in, so the best bully gives reign to not immunity
the best
to these
bully
nerds
on their side.
Yeah, it gives. So I mean, if they help the best bully or the bully become the best bully, then ideally this bully will give these nerds immunity. Is pretty much what the story's shaping out to be.
Yeah, you like it so far?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sweet.
Yeah, Bully Wars numero tres.
All
This
aboard.
one.
I'm really excited about this one. I've loved the past 4 issues, and this week we have Farmhand #5 by Rob Guillory and also joined by Taylor Wells. This is the end of one of the story arcs. The first arc of the series about agriculture gone apocalyptic concludes as Freetown descends into chaos. Zeke and Jed search for the town for Andrea, but she's got problems of her own. And now she is faced with the monstrous truth behind the Jedediah seed.
I am loving Farmhand. I'm
Me too.
kind of curious to see how the first story arc in this series ends. I'm also very excited for a new story arc coming next month too.
Another co-creator with Gilroy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's well, Gilroy. He's as a colorer. Taylor Wells is his colorer. So that's nothing new. Taylor Wells is.
No, but isn't there another one who has previously worked with Rob?
Oh
that you were
yeah,
talking
so
about?
yeah, this one I'm actually excited about. The other half of Chew, with Rob Guillory. So also in the world of Image, we have Outer Darkness #1. John Layman is writing this one, and Fu Chan doing the art. So what we have here is a sci-fi and horror collide in this new series from the co-creator of Chew. Mankind has colonized the galaxy, but during our interstellar travels, we discovered a terrifying secret out in the outer darkness of space. Join Captain Joshua Rigg and the crew of the starship Sharon as they encounter demonic possessions, hauntings, cosmic horror, and more. So, just
Yeah.
yeah,
All aboard. You know, I love the cosmic horror genre and anything space related. And I
yes.
love Chew.
Yes, I am very, very excited about this. I just went ahead and put it on the pull list, all willy-nilly like.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yes. Moving on, 7 to Eternity #2, Rick Remender and Jerome Pena. 7 to Eternity continues on. Issue #2. That's a fun one.
Issue number 12.
Issue 12, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Issue 12. My bad.
We're human, folks.
Yes, yes. I am not malfunction. Walking Dead #185. I've never heard of this. What's Walking Dead?
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day they'll like make a movie out of it and make it relevant.
Maybe they should put it on Netflix.
Maybe. I don't know. Robert Kirkman, Charlie Aldred, and a bunch of various other artists apparently jumping on board. Walking Dead 185 continues. Yeah, kind of really made Image Comics very, very relevant again as far as like bringing e-books back out, because like Spawn has always been Spawn, but it took a break for a while and then relaunched again, but I don't think people I feel like it relaunched under the radar. I think Spawn is the title for Image. And now I think The Walking Dead is taking those reins. I mean, Robert Kirkman is I think he's like president and CEO of Image or something like that.
Huh?
Like he's a big fucking deal. I know. I probably didn't get the title right, but he's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, especially since they only print in black and white, correct?
No, they see in color, but no, I'm kidding. In black and white. Yeah, no, that's actually a design choice that Kirkman did. For productivity's sake, actually.
It really goes.
And he
against
wants
the
to be
grain
able to
of
still have
comics,
$3
but-
comics, I think, too, is what he's saying. He still
Yeah.
wants to be able to put out $3 books.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously doing something right. So.
Yeah. I missed the boat on Walking Dead. All about the series, though, and it's continuing on, so I'm sure the sales of this book are going to spike again.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing a great thing by not reading the comics, but I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys could tell us like the most recent and bestest jumping on point for Walking Dead for a couple of Walking Dead newbies.
I'm sure a lot of fans are going to say issue 1.
Well, they could say that, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to listen to the most relevant answer, because, yeah, I'm sure there's got to be at least, I know there's multiple smart people out there that aren't troll fucks. So shout out to all the non-troll fucks out there. We recruit you as Cheers to Comics fans. You could become loyal to us. Join Patreon for $1, fucking whatever. Talked about that earlier. But hit us up, like, tell us the most relevant Walking Dead jumping on point, so we can, yeah, maybe talk with you guys. I know a lot of people are reading it out there, and us being comic book talker abouters, we should probably know, like, what's going on with one of the most popular comics in the world.
Help us make the most informed decision so we can help others make the most informed decision.
Yeah, for shizzle. Spawn 291, Francesco Mattina doing this cover as well.
Beautiful cover.
I know, huh?
Very, very nice.
Oh my god, so yeah, it's gonna kind of wrap it up for, well, no it's not.
No, I'm hoping to pick up Witchblade at number 9 in volume 2. It's by Keaton Kitteridge and Roberta Ingranata.
Yeah, man, you
this is
said
one
you were...
that I've read a couple reviews of, and everything I've heard really interests me.
Fucking A. Yeah, no, you said you were just gonna jump right on this one, so
Yep.
let me know. I know there was a
Jumping
Spawn
in.
Witchblade crossover not too long ago. I don't know if that's still going.
Yeah.
I know it's a little mini series or whatever, but
I just know I'm going in dry.
yeah. As Guardians of the Galaxy #3, Columbo and Matteo Lolli jumping over to Marvel. So I'm loving As Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a fun little read. I know it's not gonna last long because we're gonna get our Guardians back. Because Kate said January that's gonna be a thing again. Oh man.
Well, I know you're a fan of the As Guardians of the Galaxy. I wasn't as impressed, but I'm really impressed with the Champions. And they have another one coming out this week. Just another one set in the world of magic and glory. The Champions can take hold of what they desire, but not without a price. It's a very D&D inspired one. I really like it.
Yeah, they in issue 25 they like went into this, D&D
Yep.
type of world.
I want to see how it plays out.
That was actually my re-jumping on point for Champions. I read like the first few issues, and like I said, there was a point in time where I had to like make a tough decision and drop a few things. But I'm back with
Sure.
Champions now, and I jumped on as soon as I saw the D&D thing. And I love Jim Zub, or Cullen Bunn, or wait, no, Jim Zub. That's what I meant to say.
Max Dunbar.
Yeah. No, that's
I
fun
really
stuff.
love the art in this one, especially. For sure.
Yeah, man. Deadpool #6, Scott Young writing, Scott Hepburn. Deadpool has been a lot of fun, still is. Scotty Young, I think, is a perfect choice for a writer for Deadpool. Continues to be, not letting me down. This one right here.
Yeah, I know you're really into this one.
Yeah, this is probably my most exciting book of the week for me. We got the conclusion to the Death of the Humans, Death of the Inhumans #5, Donny Cates, Ariel Olivetti. So the final stand, there will be blood for sure. The royal family has been broken. Now something new and terrible rises from its ashes. Who is Vox? Where are the Inhumans he's killed? And what lies ahead for a king without a kingdom? So I have a feeling that with the end of the Inhumans coming, Black Bolt's gonna do something cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, mind-blowing. Take a comic book rating to a 10 out of 10, possibly.
Oh, that's
He's
pretty high
already been
speculation.
a fucking soldier throughout this. He's had his neck cut, and he still goes on whispering and killing people. I heard a little birdie say that we're gonna get a full sentence out of him. So that's gonna be world devastating. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive it. I don't know, but Death of the Humans, it's a 5-part series, so I'm assuming within the next
Coming to an
month
end?
we're gonna get a trade, pick it up, Donny Cates. I mean,
Alright.
Marvel's gonna sweep the Inhumans under the rug for a while, it seems.
I really like what Donny Cates has been doing, so
Yeah, well,
I've already
he's-
been sold.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a fun read. It's sad it's coming to an end, but I hope that we get like an extra 10 pages. I'd like to see a 30-page story out of this, 30 maybe 40-page. I know it's not gonna happen based off the price I'm seeing here. I know better than that, but yeah, nah. Moving along, Doctor Strange #7, Mark Waid and Javier Pina. It's Doctor Strange is awesome. Fully subscribed. It's no reason to not pick it up. It's fun stuff. Mortal Hulk #8, Al Ewing and Joe Bennett. That team continues on. Mortal Hulk has been a fun story. Continues to be. It's becoming more and more canon with like the Avengers world and all of that stuff. You're starting to see more relevant heroes popping up and all of that.
Cool.
So yeah, no, Mortal Hulk. Go out and buy the trade. I'm sure it's got to be out by now. The first trade. And jump on this, man. I think you're silly if you don't. And fucking Alex Ross
Infinity
continues.
Wars next.
Yes, Infinity Wars. I'm loving this event.
Me too.
Yeah?
It's not something I expected to love, but yeah, I'm all aboard.
Yeah, well, Jerry Duggan and Mike Diodato are continuing on with the series as well. They should. We're gonna get Loki's Cosmic Avengers in this, so that's super fucking exciting, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Marvel Knights 20th #1, fucking Donny Cates And Travel Foreman. I am so on board with this. For one, Donny Cates, and two, Marvel Knights. Just seems like a fucking hell of a goddamn story. They're bringing back classic goddamn tale. I don't remember much about Marvel Knights or what's been told beforehand, but I know based off everything I've seen promoting this, I would be silly not to at least give it a little bit of a taste.
Yeah, that's the one you're jumping in on?
Yeah, well, Donny Cates, man. Donny fucking Cates, huh?
You're not wrong.
For sure. For sure. What else? Spider-Geddon.
Yeah, Spider-Geddon. I'm really loving this so far. Again, we're getting Christos Gage and Carlo Barbereri. Just more Revenge of the Spider-Verse. One superior spider is willing to do whatever it takes to defeat the inheritors. Will Miles Morales and his team have to stop him before he goes too far? Stand together or fall separately. Isn't that how it goes?
Dude, fucking, this cover looks dope. Everything about this story's been awesome.
Oh yeah, all the different spiders,
yeah,
mono a mono with the other spiders.
You don't have to go out and read all of the tie-ins out there, but they are. I mean, everything I've read so far has been fun. There's been a couple I passed on, but for the most part, the Spider-Geddon event is totally worth it.
Yeah, you skipped Vault of Spiders this week, didn't you?
Yeah, I skipped Vault of Spiders. I think there's been one or two other ones.
Yeah, it wasn't a must-read, but it was alright. I liked it.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Star Wars. Star Wars number 56.
Yeah, Han Solo, my boy.
Oh yeah, we also got Han Solo Imperial Cadet number 1 as well. So a couple of Star Wars stories going on. Oh man, X-23 number 6. Marco Tamaki continues with Georges Duarte. I am loving X-23. Continue to. It needs to just, yeah. The momentum has been great. The story's been fun. The writer knows how to take it on. I was worried about someone else writing Honey Badger and Laura beyond Tom Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Not disappointed though.
No. It's on my list. 5
Great.
issues in now, number 6. So. Yes, good stuff. X-Men Red, number 10. Speaking of Tom Taylor, we also have Paolo Villanelli.
Bad at names, y'all.
Yeah, lots of syllables and but out of all the X-Men books I've been reading, X-Men Red has been the best. We've got Uncanny X-Men coming soon, not to take away anything from Astonishing X-Men. Blue and Gold are now done for after 36 issues apiece, so right now all my eggs are in X-Men Red's basket, and Tom Taylor is not fucking disappointing still. So yeah, I think jumping on, if there's really one Marvel series, I said, okay, you're 10 issues behind. If you could pick one series that's 10 issues to catch up on that's worth reading, it's X-Men Red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Yes, as well it should be. The Brianist speaketh.
So do you have anything else this week that you feel like you must talk about?
Must talks. Oh man, there's lots of good stuff. Like I said, anything we don't mention, it's nothing against it. There's so much to talk about.
So many comic books.
Yeah. And for the most part, I think that about wraps it up for what I'm super excited about. And most of those books we talked about will get my money. I will be purchasing almost all of those. It's a heavy week, guys, so expect a heavy contented show next week for sure.
Great. Bring it on.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else that you feel that you need to mention? Anything you're excited about?
No, I'm still catching up on a lot of past stuff. Trying to read everything that I can this week. I'm just looking forward to next week so we can talk about even more.
Right on, guys. Well, make sure you guys like and subscribe and do all the podcasty, technologically stuff you do to podcasts to show your love.
And that's Cheers to Comics on Facebook, and that's comics_TO on Twitter for
Yeah,
now.
stay tuned for an updated version of that'll get fixed here very soon. Also, like I said, Patreon memberships are very much appreciated. We are a new podcast. So jump on early and you will get early love. You could be the start of something that will be incredible. We promise that. We are dedicated to bringing you the best content every week. And
this is definitely a work in progress.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And we have so many more ideas. We just need the time to do it.
Yeah, no, stay tuned for a vast amount of more content coming soon, possibly, definitely guests on and all of that good stuff, but it takes a little bit of help from the fans, and yeah, we do that through Patreon. It's an amazing outlet. It takes a little to give a lot, so.
Well, Brian, I've had a lot of fun doing this. So
yeah, man.
Again,
for sure. Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcasts, give us the hearts, the loves, and all of that.
Yep.
Make sure that while drinking, you are not spilling. Yeah. That is my advice for the week. Don't drink or don't read and spill.
Sure. Geek responsibly.
Fucking A, man.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
Brian.